God, I love you so much.
It's you, babe.
I can't wait to start our lives together.
Oh my God.
Andy, Jeanette Dorfman. Will you marry me?
Yes! 7:43, and there it is, a scene from the finale of The Bachelorette, which aired, of course, right here on City last night at 8. Andy Dorfman chose 29-year-old former pro baseball player Josh Murray in the Dominican Republic, and for some reason was surprised when he proposed, apparently.
Well, I mean, it's a moment that they were, I'm sure she was hoping for that to happen. I mean, he could have come back with anything there and not gone down one knee, I guess.
A pebble in the box instead of a
Yeah, I guess he
diamante?
could have been like, oh, well, it's nice that you like me, but we should just be friends.
We should just be friends.
Yeah.
The Bachelorette always has, after the last episode, it has the After the Rose, where they sort of catch up with the couple and with the runner-up. And the runner-up in this case is this man named Nick Vial, or Vial, I don't know how to pronounce it. Vial. I'm going with Vial. So she did not choose Nick. And so he had a chance to meet Andy, like for the first time after a while. And how do we explain this?
Well, let's just say this is when things got really juicy. Check out what Nick had to say to Andy in the After the Rose.
Oh.
Check this out.
Knowing how in love with you I was. If you weren't in love with me, I'm just not sure why you made love with me. I don't.
Well, first of all, I think that's kind of below the belt. I think that's something that should be private and kept private.
Wow.
I'll tell you my theory on what happened right there.
I think I told you this.
I agree that that's below the belt, but I think that Andy's face right there is the face of a woman who was like, I don't think that Josh, the guy she ended up getting engaged to, knew that that happened with Nick.
No, that
was
was something that she wanted to definitely keep private, and you can see on all of the audience's faces that they're just like, wow, they had no idea as well, obviously. Hey, normally what happens in the fantasy suite stays in the fantasy suite, and that has really started to change on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. People are obviously things go down, but normally they're not talked about, but actually that was a big bomb that was dropped in the After the Final Rose ceremony.
It's not very classy on Nick's part, but you know what, at the same time, we're not going to judge Andy. The Bachelor does the same thing. Why would The Bachelorette do the same thing? At the end of the day, it's juicy television, and
we love it too. And another thing that everyone's talking about on the internet right now is that Chris Harrison, the host, he was going to let everybody know who the next Bachelor was going to be, and he actually he teased that at the beginning of the show. But then after this whole thing went down,
maybe it's Nick now.
Well, I think maybe it could have been Nick, and now that he's said this and dropped this bomb, they're going to think about it. Who knows? I'm just starting a rumor out there, like everybody else is on the internet.